fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, Helmas, left, kabit cafe.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
Hold
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit.
I'm here and I'm queer. Okay. I was coming. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, let me be late. Let me be late. It's worth it. Okay. It's worth it. Here, Flip. We are at 100K. 101K. I cried earlier on Station Head. Gross. I was real gay. I was over there on Station Head real gay today. Okay. I'm not a bottom. So here, Flip. So that happened and that's over with. Okay, this is the 100K celebration. Oh my goodness, I love y'all. And thank you. Again, oh my goodness, I love y'all. So hashtag justice for Shanquella, because it's always going to be that. Shout out to the Robinson family. As I usually say, again, thank you all for the 100K wishes. It's been a lot of you. Oh Lord, there's been a lot of you, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And I was late because I was talking to Raz B. It was his fault. Okay, it was not my fault. Okay, I was sitting here about to hit the button, and then he come. Okay, so I was talking to Raz. Shout out to Raz B. B2K. Thank you, brother. So a shout out to him. I was talking to him a little bit. So we talked, we discussed some things, move right along. So the title of the show, again, thank you all for the 100. Thank you. We'll celebrate a little bit later. We'll get into chat. I'll shout all y'all out. We'll do a roll call, and all that good stuff. I love you all. I don't want to keep y'all waiting, because it's just so much. But again, thank you so much for all the congratulations and all that good stuff. I really appreciate you all. I'm so grateful. Like you don't even know how grateful. If you're on station here earlier, you know how grateful I am. Okay. I'm very, very grateful. You have no idea. So thank you. Thank you all. So I love you. I love you as much as you love me. I promise. So I promise I love just as much y'all love me, as much I love y'all. So yes, I love you all. So girl, Sonya said, I love you. Thank you, girl. I love you too. So, y'all, it is a lot going on in this world, Craig. There's a lot going on in this world. Somebody in the chat just told me to go check out somebody else's channel for the arrest video. No. No. Because, girl, she's not arrested. She's detained. Okay, The crime isn't here. Y'all weird. Y'all weird. So anybody that's telling y'all that she is like arrested and is in jail, she's not. She is detained, allegedly. So and we're gonna get into that. So she's allegedly detained, not arrested. Okay. So with her being detained, okay, we're gonna get into this good article. That this man then say, because y'all know he keep on talking. The girls are talking, the girls are talking. So yes, we're gonna get into that, and we also gonna get into how y'all gonna stop sending me the interviews. Please and thank you. If it's not with I have the right one. But yeah, okay, I do. So
You better do it, Lord.
Okay, be quiet. Let me go. Be quiet. So now this man running around interviewing with everybody with a new piece of tea. Geraldo! Yeah. Geraldo. I'm like, you again? You starting to get on my nerves. I'm like, you starting to become a little era. Okay? I'm about to tell Mexico about you. Because I don't feel like they know, Lord. I don't feel like Mexico know about you. Mexico, do y'all know one of your own? Mm-hmm. One of your own. Like C.S. Madison said, it was one of her own. Mexico. One of your own is over here tampering with your investigation. It's getting on my L nerves. Okay? It's getting L distracting. Okay? It's getting L damn annoying. Okay? It's what it is be of the coming. Okay? I'm keeping it real. I'm sick of y'all. Because y'all want any little piece, anything. Ooh, did you? Ooh. Yeah, pouncing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God. Like, y'all pouncing on stories of a story. I'm just like, but okay, girl. So shout out to Shanosha. I hope I said that right. For the super sticker, thank you, girl. I love you. Thank you, girl. And shout out to Shelby, Jamie Shelby. She said, hit the like. The math, and don't make me look. Because I'm tired of threatening y'all with Michael cousin. I'm going to go get her. That's what I'm just going to go grab her real quick. So I'm here flick. So look, I'm getting sick of this man. Look. I love Mexico. I love Mexico and everything. But, okay, his name coming up more than Taco Bell. Now, look. Every time we get a new little piece of information, it's coming from him. L Big Mouth. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm just supposed to believe this. I'm just supposed to believe it. We're not one L receipts. These are coupons, Lord. These ain't receipts. These are coupons. He a little piece of the truth. He ain't the truth. No, because y'all getting on my nerves. Y'all getting on my nerves. All of y'all sending me all of this shit and this L stupid at. Because I'm just like, why, Craig? Why? Top flight security is what y'all done, because that's what he is. Okay? L top flight security is just spilling all the beans. Okay? Just bust the case open, Lord. Bust it open. Bust it down and let her go. Bust her down and let her go. Is what he doing with these people case over there. I thought you just telling everybody. Shout out to Peaches. Thank you for the congratulations. Super sick. Thank you, girl. No, for real. Y'all laugh. No, for real. Was the news chat head? I'm just like, oh, so I'm just supposed to just believe this. You have no reason to lie. I don't know. Nobody else is reporting this, but you are. Okay. This is the only person in Mexico. Let me find out Metropolplex, MX, is the only information source in Mexico. That's the only reporter. Like I see all these beautiful Latino women that be reporting the news and all of that stuff. I'm like, I never saw him. Who is this? Like, look, Zorro, the hero with the because you supposed to come, you supposed to be an avatar. I'm like, you just on camera just telling all the secrets. In and out of the police precinct with all of the secrets. He's just back there. He just walk in. He just walk in, opening up the desk and pulling out paperwork. Right, so in there with the photo on the photocopier. They walking past. See, you just got all the secrets. you know everything. Oh, okay. That's all y'all have to say. Was that he knew? Cause I'm like, oh, okay. I guess it ain't a piece of a receipt. I'm like, where's the receipts? Are there none? Can we get a zoom in? At least something you wrote down. Where your notepad at? Like, what? You just remembering all of this? Really? I'm like, oh, you're amazing. Shout out to Tasty for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetie. Shout out to Joseph, lawyer, for the super sticker as well. Thank y'all so much. I love you. Thank you. No, I just want to know. And so where was she caught at? Who? Oh, I don't know. They said other YouTubers got it on recorder, girl. They said something. It's a YouTuber that got her, I guess, her garage cam, wherever the girl got arrested, detained. I guess they done got into the camera above the house. That I guess a YouTuber had a drone over there. I don't know. They said they got a recording of it. I guess they done already bought the camera footage for the cop cam group. I don't know. But you know, these YouTubers is not playing, okay? They said, I'm going to solve this. I'm gonna do what the FBI can't. Although they have way more access than I do. Okay. Hair flip. So so it's this nice Mexican man, Lord, running around telling everybody that that this girl is in jail. Now I put up a video of it already, so I'm not going over it again. But I will go over this. Now, the Metropolitan MX said that the Interpol came over there and detained Daejhanae Hallface Jackson last night. Okay? Now, they said they sent some wrestler-sized men. Yes. Now they said they sent some of the 7 feet men over there to apprehend the suspect. So they said they sent the football team over there. They got a recording of the Vikings out over there getting them. Okay. So they said they sent He-Man over there to go and retrieve, basically the Avengers. They sent over there to go and apprehend Daejhanae Hallface Jackson. Okay. So they went over there and got her, Lord. Because Mexico says, send me her. Send me her. Send me her. So they went over there and they allegedly got the girl. And they put her in 2 pair of cuffs and they had tranquilizers out and all of that, just in case, because she's wild. So they sent the people over there to get the girl. And allegedly they got the girl. Is what what they said on it. I'm not going over that shit. No, I'm not because look, this is getting on my nerves. It's too much. Okay? It's getting my nerves. All right. So here, Flip, I'm not reading it again. I'm not. Okay, then he had all the letters together. He hurry up put that out. Because it ain't no punctuation, it ain't really no punctuation. Yes, Gerardo, yes. Why I got you. Y'all translate this for him. Tell him that he had to bunch the words. He had to bunch the words together like that. Over there typing like this. To be the first one to say something. So because he put no spaces in between none of the words or nothing like that. My God. Like, so, interpreter, tell him the space is his friend. Tap is his double tap. Because I'm like, he had to bunch all the words together like that. A was right next to a fact, so it's like a fact. All this. I'm like, no. No. Why are these words, Lord, so close together? Okay. So, so I took some notes, y'all. Before we get into other stuff, because we're getting into other stuff, we're getting into stuff that's tangible. Okay, because this is getting on my nerve. So, shout out to what's his name? Gerald Jackson, right? The NC beat him. He did an interview with him tonight. This is what his 86th interview. Uno de los tres. What is this? Cracho. Cracho. So it's interviews. So he over there interviewing, and now my problem with him is that Waffle come everywhere he go with a new piece of evidence verbally. Okay, because he was at one YouTuber and telling this YouTuber, look, they took $17,000. And then he was over here at the other YouTuber and he was telling the YouTuber, look, there's a second video. And in that second video, gracias. So, here, Flip. So, and now Waffle come, he over there with the beat person, the NCB, and he said, ain't no second video. Y'all, he said, ain't no second video. I'm like, well, why not? You already kind of promised it. No. No. You promised us the part 2, even if it's just gonna be in our mind. Okay? Even if it's just gonna be up here. All right. And now you talking about some ain't no second video? Why? What happened to it? You just over here with that attorney man, and you was telling him it was another video. Not another video. I'm like, well, what's going on here? I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? So I'm just like, okay, now it's not a second video. Okay. He's saying, y'all, that the viral video that's going around in Shanquella, that's where she passed away at. Okay. What? Okay. So now, what Daejhanae did to Shanquella in that viral video is the alleged video of Shanquella's demise. What? And I'm supposed to just believe that? Because it sounds like you're backpedaling, sir. It sounds like you're backpedaling, sir. I don't know if you went outside and you opened up a box on your step and there was a hand in there. And I don't know. But it sounds like you're backpedaling, y'all. Like, it sounds like you're backpedaling. And now it sounds like this is more so of the doctor's fault than the police's fault. Now you blaming just the doctor. But over there with the bald-headed attorney, You was over there talking about the doctor and the police. Okay? And there was a second video. All right? All right. Now there's no second video. Now there's no second video. And now the police really, they can't help what they was lied to. Now they could have been not helped at. Not why folk come, Lord. Are you backpedaling? Okay, no, let's not backpedal. Okay, because this is getting weird. This is getting weird. Okay, so I'm gonna do my little breakdown of the little piece of what I could take over there with that interview that Geraldo is doing right now. He on Quattro. So he said that what we just stated that Shanquella passed away allegedly in the first viral video that is on Twitter and everywhere else. That when she, I guess, kicked her, I guess that last kick or whatever, and how she twirled her is the alleged body slam. That was supposed to have happened. From what we could see, the video ended. So we have no idea if that truly right there is to where she didn't move anymore, you know, and whatnot. Because allegedly with Shanquella's injury, she may have been paralyzed from it, type of situation, right? So with her, you know, that being said, she was still holding her hands to her face. So with her holding her hands to her face, that means that she was still alive, is what I'm getting. I don't know about y'all. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. But when that type of injury is sustained, she pretty much lost function immediately. So with that being said, I feel like her hands would have been to her side, you know, and something in that nature, you know, to where it would have been like that, not a, you know, because her hands were still to her face. So that means she was still in control because she was controlling where her hands were. And again, the video ended like right there, you know, so I'm like, I don't know, that's weird. I'm like, because to me, it seems as if she was still alive. That's what I said with the second video, that she didn't get back up because somebody allegedly body slams her. So if that was the alleged, because she did twirl her, you know, in that video, I wouldn't necessarily call it a body slam. I wouldn't necessarily call it that, but she, you know, she did damage with this kicking and the stomping and, you know, things like that. She did damage. So I'm not going to stunt on that. But I don't know. I just feel like she was still alive within that point. Then we talked about that there's no second video, which is weird because I hear rumors that there is cameras in the B&B. So I'm just like, okay, well, so like no other video. That's weird. Whatever. Especially with him stating who came out the room and whatnot. Wasn't that signal for another camera? Okay, I'm just saying. So Geraldo said that there was only 4 people in the room. Okay, which is weird. Okay, he said that it was just Daejhanae, Shanquella, I believe Winter, and Khalil. And he says that Khalil was recording, but that's Khalil's face on camera with the person that's recording. So, and Winter was on a FaceTime call. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, so how could a camera be pointing at or near Khalil if he's the one recording? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Unless Winter had 2 phones, recording from one phone and FaceTiming on the other. I have no idea how that makes sense. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, Malik had to have been in the room. Now, Elise allegedly not being in the room, I can understand. But when he stated that Elise or someone intervened and was upset, they heard from a back room and came in, why wouldn't it have been one person departed and then the other three? Because that's still putting 5 people in the room with Elise coming in there to intervene, because Winter clearly didn't intervene if she was the one recording, you know, unless there's a video or some type of proof showing that she tried to intervene. From what we gather, she wasn't. She was inciting the riot. So there had to have been at least 5 people in that room, from what the first video is indicating. There's 3 people right there, and then the Shanquella and Daejhanae. So that it has to be 5. That video states that there's at least 5 people in that room within that moment. Winter being on FaceTime, Khalil watching the fight. Now, if he was recording, he could have been, I don't know. Because all we saw was was the thing of his face. But you see that is Khalil, like on camera. That is him. So that's 3 people. Because that camera angle that's not of him recording, that's somebody else. And Winter wasn't, she was on the phone from what we could see. So I'm like, that's confusing. But that's what he said. He said that. Okay. And then he also said Shanquella passed away between 7 o'clock in the morning and noon. Although the autopsy says 3. Between the time frame 3 and 15 minutes of maybe breathing. 15 minutes of breathing after, and then it was just so he said Shanquella was found by a worker, whether it was housekeeping or whoever came in to do any whatever cleaning service. They allegedly found her. But when they found Shanquella in the bathroom, as Nazir stated, when they found her in the bathroom, they said that she was hard to the touch. So that means that she had already passed away. She was already gone. If the if the alleged housekeeper came in and cleaned around noon or at noon and found her and then touched her, and she was cold to the touch and hard to the touch, rigor mortis setting in, then again, when the doctor got there, the doctor already knew that allegedly that Shanquella had passed away. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And then he also states the 14 rounds of CPR was conducted by the doctors and more. If you really pay attention, it's too much. Let me stop because it's a lot. If the workers found her at noon and knew that she passed away, why wouldn't they just report it? Like, why wouldn't they call 911 themselves? I mean, we got to hold everybody responsible for when somebody has passed away. If their body is hard, or if that means that person is lifeless in front of you. So, and then she goes, and the worker goes and tells the friends, because allegedly the friends weren't there. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's bits and pieces of the story that make sense, and then there's some things again that still just doesn't align. But yeah, I think that's what they need to look into if they already haven't. Is like, was there any money wired to any of them that night, or anything like that? Did Shanquella have any deposits removed from her account that night? Was there any check her credit cards, all of that stuff, and see if any of that was done, like, because it does sound like somebody was paid to cover that story up, and it sounds like the doctor. It does. It sounds like the doctor is very shady, and yeah, that doctor really messed up. Is how I feel, because again, basically the whole police report is the doctor, so that, and the police report conflicts with the autopsy, and what makes the confliction a real problem is that she is a doctor. She's a doctor. Now, if that police report was from one of the friends stating all of that information without the doctor, then I feel like that would be different. I feel like that would be mad different, because it'll be their word against, basically the autopsy, with what it would be. But with the doctor stating that, again, the doctor said nothing about any injuries to her, Shanquella's face, which there were visible injuries to her face. He stated, Geraldo stated that the doctors may not have recognized her bruising and injuries because she's dark, because she's black. I said, I don't know if I would have said that. I don't know if I would have said that, because now, because again, this is somebody that was exposing these people to, now it sounds like you're protecting them. Because now it's, you have excuses, you weren't there, you don't know why they did. I mean, like, how do you know why they may have overlooked her injuries because of her being a melanated woman? So because of her skin tone, they couldn't tell the difference between the bruising or if that was just her skin pigmentation. I'm like, that is different from actual injuries. Like, you see her lip is split, that a vessel was burst in her eye, there is a knot on her head. Those are injuries, Now, if she just had a knot on her head, she could have fell, something like that. I understand that being simplified, but the cut to the lip and the blood vessel allegedly burst in the eye due to her injuries, that has nothing to do with skin color. It has nothing to do with complexion. I just follow those things as just being simply overlooked. But to me, I just feel like he shouldn't have said that. It's just, because he doesn't know why. You're not the medical examiner, or any of those people. So you didn't conduct an autopsy or examine a lifeless body. You didn't do any of those things. So you can't say why that was overlooked. I would have just simply said, I don't know, that'd be a good question for them, because they're the ones who overlooked it, not Geraldo. So I don't understand why you're defending it. It's like, you don't need to defend it by especially saying something like that, because I don't feel like he was saying it to be, on like a racial tone or anything like that. I don't feel like it was any like prejudice or anything like that with him saying that, but it does kind of come off that way. Like, people will still be offended by those type of things, because there's no excuse of a busted lip, a knot on the head, a burst vessel in the eye. Those are injuries. Nothing to do with anybody of any complexion. You could tell of injuries, Now, bruising in certain areas I can understand, because the skin pigmentation, especially on Black people, sometimes it does differ, So, but it can come with the tone. With you saying that, it's just like, so is that what every Black person that has passed away there, they just, well, they're fine, slide them on through like that? And I don't think you mean it that way, but it can come off that way. But yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, yeah, that I'm lost. And again, I was lost because he doesn't have to defend it. He didn't say it. I mean, he didn't. He was not the one who overlooked it. You're not the examiner or the one who was doing the autopsy. You're not either of those people. So you don't have to excuse anything that they did. Just let it rock. You don't know why, because you simply weren't there. The gays. And again, he's stating that the medical examiner and the autopsy. He's saying that the medical examiner that was on site, on scene, lied, as well as the doctor. So both. So The first responders that came, okay, one of them being, and then one of the medical examiner and whatnot, all of them lied, including the doctor that came to help Shanquella. Now the police doesn't have anything to do with it. Now the police doesn't have anything to do with it. He also states that the friends allegedly forced the doctor to do CPR. And when I was speaking earlier on the 14 rounds of CPR, he's stating that the doctor did 14 rounds of CPR on Shanquella, not the paramedics and first responders. They did CPR on her, but she did like 14 rounds, I guess. And he states that it was a first responder that helped her with the CPR and not Nazir. So Nazir did not help, allegedly, give Shanquella CPR. And here's the thing about that. Now, I know in the video that Nazir, stated that he gave Shanquella CPR and that he helped the doctor or whatever, or nurse, he said, right? This Geraldo person is stating that a first responder helped, not a friend of the group, right? When Nazir stated that, well, not even that, when Nazir was talking to, shout out to Gerald Jackson, when he was talking to him on the phone, he said that he didn't give her CPR, that he gave her mouth to mouth. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's some truth to that, because maybe that's what he's meaning. Like, because I'm confused. But he did state that when he was talking to, when Gerald talked to him on the phone, he said, I didn't give her CPR. I gave her mouth to mouth. Okay. Okay. Weird. But that's what he stated. So again, still confused. The doctor also stated that the CPR did more damage to Shanquella's body, okay, after her injury. How would that be true if Shanquella allegedly had already passed away between 7 a.m. and noon, and they called the doctor at 2:13? She had already passed away. So the damage was done. She passed away due to her injury. So when you're saying more, it caused more damage, like what damage are you talking about? Because she was already gone. According to you, it was between 7 and noon. That's what he said, between 7 a.m. I wrote it down. Died between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. He said the autopsy was wrong. He said the only thing the autopsy was right about was that within 15 minutes she passed away. He's saying that autopsies are just estimates of time frames, not the actual time frame, which he's not far off by saying that. But again, here's the problem. If the autopsy time frame can be off, okay, if it can be off, then why is it a conflict of interest of what the doctor stated in the police report? Because if the autopsy time frame could be off, then that means that her real declaration of death would have been at 5:57 p.m. instead of 3 p.m., like the autopsy said. The police report says she was pronounced dead at 5:57 p.m. Okay, and the autopsy states that she passed away at 3 p.m. right before, or and whatnot, 3 p.m. Type of situation. So if you can manipulate the time, why couldn't the doctor at the Cabo estate, the villa, why couldn't she manipulate the time too and be like, well, the autopsy isn't a correct time frame of the passing. It's just an estimate. So, but again, here's another problem. You still can't estimate the time after 3 p.m. So you can't. You can't negate that. That's the real issue here because she definitely died before 3 p.m. Definitely, it happened before then. So no matter what, doctor, you didn't get there until 3:13, between 3:13 and 3:38 p.m. is when that doctor arrived at the villa. Either way, she was gone. Either way, you approached a lifeless body. It does not matter, like how you twist it, turn it. It doesn't matter. Either way it goes, she was passed. She passed. You can't make her be living after 3 p.m., and that is the problem. That is the issue here. Because if you can manipulate the time and state that the autopsy passing is just an estimate, okay, it is, but not after set time. You can't place them alive after 3 p.m. You can't. You can't. And that's why the autopsy has stayed the same in the time frame, and the minutes of passing after 15 minutes. None of that has changed. That is all the same. That is fact. So either way it goes, Dr. Kevorkian, when you got there, she was gone. Either way, there's no way around it. So I don't know. So even if, again, if she didn't pass at 3 o'clock, it was before that. It's not after. That's the issue. So say the time frame that this man Geraldo was stating, it was between 7 a.m. and noon. Okay. Say that that's correct, because again, the autopsy time is an estimate. It's not truly like exactly bing, at that time. It's just no around it type of situation, and they base that off of a lot of different things. Now, again, I don't even, okay, I don't embalm, I don't do none of that, but I do know there is a science to it and figuring out the time frame when a person passed away. This is nothing new. Okay, people pass away every day. All right. So this is nothing new. All right. Simple science to those people. Maybe hard to me, but simple to them. All right. With that being said, they can't place the death before that. So say she actually passed at 8 a.m. or 9 or 10 or 11. It was definitely before 3. She didn't live after 3. What that autopsy conducted is by 3 p.m., this body was definitely already decaying. Is what the autopsy is given. It was definitely at this stage of like rigor mortis, like at this point in time and whatnot. That's what it's giving. So, but it's not giving after 3 p.m. It's not giving that. So the doctor is going to have a hell of a time explaining that. Why is this report completely contradicted by the autopsy? Because she doesn't get to change her statement. She doesn't get to change that. She's detained. Good. But that's what I said, detained. She's not arrested. She didn't do anything here. She's not arrested, so she's sent to Mexico. So is there like a mugshot with Mexico or Interpol? Because Interpol, I believe, can arrest her. Like when you got to get her there, though. Once they get her there, to arrest her, to bring her into Mexico, type of situation. But from what I was told, it's a waiting process. Hold on, it's a waiting process because let's get into what Geraldo said, y'all. Let me just pull it up real quick. Let me pull up what Geraldo said. What Geraldo said. Right here. Just gonna read it real quick, just so we can, because he's the one who broke the news. So let's go, y'all, because he know a lot. So let me pull this up. Boom. Make a bigger boom. Breaking news. Daejhanae Jackson arrested. It says arrested in the United States. Daejhanae Jackson was placed in federal custody, waiting for her to begin her extradition process to Mexico, y'all. Now y'all see how he done burnt all these damn words together. He heard him trying to get this out. Look at how he burnt all these damn words together. This say bi-impo-allergens. That's what that say. That is what that say. Bi-Interpol-allergens. But it actually say bi-Interpol agents. But I'm like, now he done burst all these damn words together. So it said that she was okay. I'm arrested by Interpol agents after a controlled judge issued an arrest warrant against her for the crime of femicide of Shanquella Robinson. Okay. Daejhanae was placed in federal custody, waiting to begin her extradition process to Mexico. So that means that she is detained. Okay. They're holding her until the extradition process starts. Okay. That's what they're holding her for. Now, I mean, until the extradition process finishes. But this means that Mexico has some still ain't right in the water. Some still ain't right in the water because they could have just sent this girl on over there. They could have just sent her on over there, girl. They could have just sent her on over there, girl. But the issue is there's still information that I believe America is waiting for. There's still information because, like, if you're going to detain her, then that means that you've gotten a decent amount of information. So, but from what we have, we can, we'll let them go detain because this is Interpol. This is not, the regular, type of police, that is going over there. So Interpol cannot literally, so say I commit a crime right now in front of Interpol. Interpol can't do nothing to me. Interpol can't do nothing to me. And they can't even hold me under citizen's arrest because they ain't even no damn citizen. Most of them aren't even citizens. So it's just like, it's like they're not like actual like police, like in that nature. Like they have a specific job. And that job is to find like bounty hunters, if you will. And they can, go across the border. Interpol. That they can do that, so they like trained and everything to be like a police officer, pretty much, but it's not like their job, to, if I commit a crime right now in front of Interpol, that we're going to arrest you. Like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. So, again, they detained her. Mexico is going to be the ones that actually arrest her because that is where she committed the crime. She did not commit the crime here. So to y'all, you may view it as she's being arrested, but she's not. Being arrested means she committed a crime here in America and she's somewhere in county, in jail, waiting until they, sentence or whatever, then they'll send her over to prison if need be. Otherwise, they'll hold her. That's not what's going on. So she basically somewhere sitting in an office or a room, basically awaiting. So she's not sitting somewhere handcuffed to a wall, or anything like that. Like, no, she's just sitting there basically. She can't really leave. That's not an option. You leaving ain't no option. Mexico is your next stop. Meaning, like, when Interpol have her, she basically don't even belong. You're not even an American anymore, Daejhanae. Nah, that's what you get. Justice for Shanquella. You're basically not even an American anymore. Okay, we gave you away. We gave you away. We gave you. You were Interpol. Nah. You were Interpol. Yep, you were Interpol. You were the North Pole. We don't have, you're not a citizen no more. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. We kicking you out the country. Yep. You're not even a citizen anymore. Interpol owns you. Okay. And when they done, you're gonna be Mexico. You're gonna be loaned to Mexico. Next stop, hell, is what's going on for you, girl. And as big as this case is, you best believe that Mexico is going to be harsh on Daejhanae. They're going to be very harsh, especially with her leaving. She literally fled the country. And she fled the country, girl. Mexico is going to make an example out of her hard-faced ass. They absolutely, and she deserved every second of it. Malik, you're next. Khalil, you're next. Winter, nobody give a damn about you calling the police, girl. You're going down. All of y'all is going down next. So I'm glad that they sent them wrestlers and stuff over there to get her. I'm glad. Good. Hurry up. Let's get this going. Y'all getting on my nerves. So it's just like, yeah, let's hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Okay. So here flip. So with them getting her again in America, she's not arrested. No, she's not. Like you could say that, you could be ignorant. Because she's not arrested. You have to commit a crime here. Okay. There's no charges filed up on her. Where is there a mugshot? Since y'all swear she arrested. Do somebody got a link to the mugshot? Can we see the mugshot, please? Does anyone have the mugshot? Since y'all bring up other YouTubers. Does anyone have the mugshot on? I would love to see that. Where's this mugshot? Y'all swear folk come, she arrested. Where's this mugshot? Anybody have that? Anybody have that? Anybody have that? And somebody said in the chat, Interpol can arrest you. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Last thing Interpol running around doing in America is arresting people that aren't looking, that are not for specific reasons. Other than that, they're not worried about you indecent exposure peeing outside. They're not worried about that. They're not worried about you may be drunk and drunk. They're gonna keep on going. They have a specific mission. Okay. So they're not sitting around. I'm not completing this important case because somebody is out here screaming obscenities and they're disturbing peace. So get you nothing else over there and get that. They're not worried about that. Like I promise you. Like I think the last thing Interpol is worried about is arresting American citizens for unspecific reasons. Like it's specific. You know, they're coming to get Daejhanae. That's specific. What's she do? What's she do? There's plenty of crime going on. They ain't stopped none of it on their way to go get her. I promise you. Interpol ain't stopped nowhere on the way. It could have been 5 shootings, all of that. Most they would have did is made a phone call. Other than that, they have a specific mission, and that's what they do. Okay, specific person or persons that they gotta go collect, and they be on their way. Is how they be. They not stopping in the hood to getting people persons back. And they ain't doing that. They ain't got time for that. They ain't got time for that. You just ran a red light. I wish Interpol would. I'll pull right off if they pulled up and said Interpol. So I saw. I'm gonna pull right. Interpol these nuts. Interpol these tire marks. Like. Okay, Interpol. Okay. Okay, come get me. Come get me. That's all I say. Come get me. Here, flip. So yeah, he was over there saying all of that. I don't know, y'all. Everything wrong. Just now, we're just more confused than ever. But if Daejhanae, they said that she is. I'm glad that they got her good. Oh. Because now I'm excited. Because now I'm just waiting. Because all we got to do is just get these other 5 people. Because that's really what I was worried about. I was really worried about Daejhanae with them having such hardcore, like, evidence on her. But when it comes to the other 6, that means 5. That's when I'm just like, okay, well, what's going to happen? Now, what's going to happen now? Because they got to go. They got to go. Okay, and I feel like Interpol may be coming after them next. Okay, I definitely think Daejhanae is the domino effect. I definitely think she's going to be the first, domino they knock down, and with her assistance, they're going to be able to knock down all the other ones in the process. So I really think so. I really think that she's the key because all of this happened because of her. He also alluded. Because there's something with Geraldo. The angles that he's explaining, like if he's saying, because he said that the video shows 3 people walked out of the room. So I'm like, well, did one of them go out the sliding door? Like, did Daejhanae go out the sliding door? Because there was a sliding door in there. But if it's from that angle, that means that there's a camera somewhere. Is what I'm getting. Because if you're talking about people exiting a room, nobody's exiting rooms and shit on camera, especially after something like that. You're going to stop recording. When you see something like somebody not getting up, something like that, you're instantly going to like, oh, yo, so that means that there's different angles. So there has to be other videos. There has to be. And I believe that the B&B, especially being as nice as it was, I think that B&B had cameras. I definitely think so. That they had cameras. And he also, I believe he stated a situation to where there may have been an argument. Shout out to About the 50 Plus Life. Thank you, sweetie, for the super sticker. And shout out to you for the thank you for the 100K. Thank you. It just sounds like different angles. I believe they stated something about there was an argument between Shanquella and Daejhanae the night before. So it's like, if you know that there was an argument, is this something? It sounds like it's something that was seen. They may not exactly got the audio of the argument, but you can definitely tell by body language when someone is having a problem with one another. Shout out to Vera. She says, watching from the UK, keep up the good work and thanks for keeping her name alive. Justice must be and will be served. So upsetting to see so many clout chasers on this case. God bless all of you. May shout out to you, Vera. Thank you for the super sticker, sweetie. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. That's just very confusing to me. But what do y'all think? I'm going to chat for a little bit, and then we're going to move into some other stuff about this. Shout out to Jacqueline for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Shout out to Lane. I'm about to say Lane. Shout out to Lane for the super sticker. Thank you so much, Jacqueline and Lane, for the super stickers. Thank you, ladies. So yeah, I just would compromise the case. The whole case is compromised, especially if you ask me like about over here. This is why I don't believe in like interviewing nobody about like stuff like this, and especially like reporters and things in that nature, just because you are getting secondhand information. Sometimes that information you're getting from somebody could be information that they got from somebody, so you don't know what's accurate and what isn't, because again, the energy that he's had on each interview that he does is a different energy, and it's a literally different interview. Maybe 3 or 4 of the same questions may pop up from set interviews, but it's just like every interview is different information to the point to where it gets hard to keep up with. So with it being hard to keep up with, we don't know, a person won't know what is true and what is false because it's too much, especially if your story keeps changing. I'm not going to say changing. I just feel that you should have a consistent story. If you're going to go around on platforms and talk about this situation, especially a situation as serious as something like this, then I feel that all of your stories should collectively be the same. Like Jen from the Kenneth Petty case. Everywhere she went, she had the same story. She didn't go somewhere else and then she would go here and here and here and here. But everywhere it was kind of like you're getting a different version of it. It's like, no, you're getting the same version. It's just being expressed differently due to the interviewer. So it's the interviewer's job to take the audience on a journey, and and the journey is the truth, of what's being stated. So that's why I'm a more so of a person that will interview somebody that went through it, that knows firsthand what's going on, because then I can't refute their story. I can't tell them like this, you're lying. I can tell a person they're lying about their experience. But if they're coming to me with information that somebody else gave them, how do they know that it's real? Because again, if somebody's giving that person information that's giving it to another person, and then that person is giving it to you, the information may not be accurate because it's not coming from that person, because they're not going to forget. You don't forget the truth. The truth is going to be something that consistently comes out. But if you're getting the story from different parties, it's going to change as it gets back to you. So a lot of things may be off in what you are saying. So to me, I don't think Geraldo was like literally going around trying to outwardly lie like on purpose, or anything like that. I don't think it's that. Because if it's a lie, he's not telling it. Somebody's telling him. But based off of his source, he believes that this person is telling the truth. Again, I don't know his source. I have no idea. I have no idea the credibility of said source. with her getting arrested, it's certain information in Mexico that he's going to be able to see before people like us that live here in America. So with him being one of the first people to tell this, to say this story, that's you constantly on the search, for upcoming information, and whatnot. And if you do have a person, somebody that you deal with, which again, you live in Mexico, so that makes sense. If you have somebody that is in-house, then basically them throwing the red flag or the red notice, like go get her, type of situation, that's easy for you to get. I mean, because that's simple information, because it's something that's going to become public. Mexico is not like America. We'll conceal, a lot of information. Well, a lot, especially if they're highly wanted, if they know exactly where they are, then America won't say too much about it. Just because they want to get the person. They want to kind of keep them where they are, making them think that they're safe, making them think no one knows where they are, but they know exactly where they are, type of situation. Mexico's not like that. They're like, we don't care. So it's easy for him to get that information before any, of us, because again, it happened in Mexico. A lot of it is in Spanish, a lot of the articles, and whatnot. So again, it's not hard. For him to get said information, but it doesn't mean all of the information that he stated, because he stated that she was detained, that all of the other information is accurate. It doesn't mean, because again, you're being told it. You're being told it. I mean, we have no idea, and there's no actual receipts. There's no like files, or other reports that contradict, because he also states that part of the Cabo Six was they gave statements. So if they gave statements, it's like, where did their statements go? Why do we only know the doctor? No, you can drop the link or send me the link on China Boy Show IG if y'all have the link of her. And what side are you talking about? Are you talking about Interpol? Are you talking about that? Because I checked Interpol earlier and she was not on there. She wasn't. And he also didn't know like where she got arrested, like what state she got arrested in, which again, I mean, they may not have told him that. They may not have told him that. They may not have been like, she got arrested in this state, in this city, at this address. And they may not have told her that. I mean, told him that. They may have just said, look, she got arrested, or they got her. They may have just told him just that. I don't see why they would have to go so far into detail. All that matters is that they got her, So that, again, that doesn't mean that he was lying. And I don't think that he will go around and like literally lie again. I just think that has second to third hand information and is coming forward with it and doesn't really have much proof of what he's stating, because again, this is a lot. Okay, so let's switch gears for a little bit and get into Khalil. So Khalil got a PPP loan, y'all. Now, this fake cousin that went on to TikTok and was stating how Khalil and all of them, Shanquella and all of them all got a PPP loan at the same time, I guess, around the same time. And Shanquella is the only one that made good, I guess. I'm just like, what does that have to do with anything, girl? But whatever. Shanquella has multiple businesses. She even owned a clothing boutique, like website, whatnot. Beautiful clothes. I saw them. And she also, Shanquella, supported Khalil's business too, because Khalil had a clothing company as well. Well, this is his voter registry because I'm nosy. I was all up in his life, y'all. So let's pull the PPP loan. So the PPP loan, he was an independent contractor, he says, all other specialty trade contractors. But it was for clothing, okay? This clothing store that he made. Now, he made some clothes. There was also a picture of Khalil and Nazir in, like, modeling the clothes. Some of the clothes that Khalil made, they're all ugly. And, oh yeah, big jealous. Big jealous, because Shanquella's clothing line, her boutique did fairly well. But with Malik's, his kind of crumbled. That's why Shanquella like was a real friend and would hair flip. She would share his company and share his business on her site, on her like social media, like on IG and stuff like that, and the IG that she had for her clothing company. She would promote him there too. So she was a real friend. Like she was just so lit. Like she actually looked out for that loser, for that evil loser. She actually looked out for him. But I feel that Shanquella was about her coin. So Shanquella was sending her people their merchandise and all of that stuff. Khalil allegedly is a thief. Khalil wasn't sending people their orders. Okay. People was ordering things and sending him money, and some people would get stuff, some of them would be small. So a couple people, said it fit okay. But other than that, he was a slumlord. Okay, he ain't take care of that. His home. Okay, he didn't do that. So he was a loser that didn't put in the actual work like Shanquella. Shanquella put in the hard work and it paid off. That's why he kept her so close. So, but like towards the end of Shanquella's life, he was not cool with her anymore. At that point, he was completely jealous of her and was using her. That's exactly what Khalil was doing. He was using her and using her, getting her off her shine and all of that stuff, because everything that he was trying to do as an entrepreneur, Shanquella was doing, but was actually successful. So like with her hair company, Shanquella actually did hair, and all of that. It wasn't like she just went and hired a couple of people to do something for her. No, she was the face and brand, of her business and the other business that she had with the children, doing children's hair and stuff like that. It was successful. And so was her clothing line. It was successful too. So and he had a clothing line and whatnot. Like everything he wanted, she was doing, but successful at. So I feel like he was mad jealous of her. And just chilling with her out of the things that he was gaining. But he could care, like at that point, because sometimes you can be so envious, of a person to where you don't outwardly say it, but it's there, and you don't see it until it's time. And this was, unfortunately, when Shanquella saw that he was not for her at all. He was not for her. Yeah. So Khalil, he with this PPP loan, he got $20,000, and with his $20,833, he blew it. He bought Jordans and pizza and Lunchables and Capri Suns and Flaming Hots. He was buying all of that instead of doing what Shanquella and them did and put the money back into their company. And that's what Shanquella did. That's because she wasn't stupid like Khalil. Smoke weed every day. Because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted bought of 3-4 pounds and some Jordans and whatnot. And just blew through his little money. Blew through his little money. Put 2-3 little pieces of clothing together and modeled with it and with Nazia. And didn't send nobody nothing, nothing like that. Just trash. Just trash. So I'm here flip. So, because he wasn't making no money off that business in the first place. That's why I said, they just give it, you get along, 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 you get along. Because that business wasn't successful. So it's not like he was actually eating off of it. He absolutely was not. Last we checked, and he wasn't eating off of it because how long he pull this up. He wasn't eating off of it because if he was, then why was he? Where is it at? Hurry up. Where is it at? Hurry up. Pull it up, Elroy. Pull it up. Where is it? Hurry up. I'm looking for it. But his profile, he was working at Foot Locker. I'm like, you ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. You're broke. That's why you were so pressed. I'm like, you was working at whole Foot Locker. Not that working at Foot Locker is a problem, but I'm just saying, like, you on trips like you doing ish, and you really not. So it's giving you were using her. It's what it gives. It's exactly what it gives. Let me pull this up. Hurry up. Where was it at? What is the ad lord? Pull it up, Sean. He was working at Foot Locker. I said, oh, not Foot Locker. Not Foot Locker, but you was acting like, no, you are on Shanquella's budget. You absolutely were. Everything you did. I'm like, it'd be the broke ones for me. It'd be the broke ones for me right here. Look. On his profile, where does it say he worked at? Foot Locker, right here. Khalil Cook. Khalil Cook. Foot Locker. He was working at Whole Foot Locker while he was on trip with on the trip with Shanquella. He worked at Whole Foot Locker. What money you're making? You making so much money off this business of selling clothes. Why are you working at Foot Locker, son? Shanquella was working at Foot Locker. She didn't have to. She was making real money. That was your profile before you deactivated it, and you put up work at Foot Locker. You're broke. That's all that was. That's why you hung around Shanquella, because you ain't had no money. That's why you went on family vacations with them, because you didn't have any money. You were broke. Remember this? Remember this? Hold on, hold it up. What's that? Hold on. It's on here. I know. I saw it. I saw it. Where is it? Hurry up. Boom. Remember when you went on trips with Shanquella and her mama? The same woman you lied to? This is Khalil, Shanquella, and Salamandra. Same mama you lied to. Y'all went on a trip. This is from a family trip. This was the Robinson family vacation. You are not a Robinson, you're Cook. It's called the Robinson family vacation. But you there, broke. You there, broke. Like you tried. You've been using this girl. You've been using her. And Khalil stayed at at Salamandra's house for like 2-3 days when he first got back about the alcohol poisoning. He stayed out, like spent the night, like stayed at her house. That's how close he was. That's how close she felt that he was to her daughter. That he even spent the night at her house for like 2-3 days. Lying to her, alcohol poisoning. That's why he was around so much. He would come around and stay and chill. And then show you all of it was dirty and how they felt about Shanquella. No, let's pull up Malik, because we're not letting him off either. Like I told you, we're going to start getting into Khalil and Malik. We're not letting him off either, because look, let me pull this up. Show you how dirty they was. Show you how dirty. Yeah. So this post was the last post that Malik shared. He has not posted basically anywhere since, right? And he shared a memory on October 30th. Shanquella passed away on October 29th. Okay? This is on the 30th, the day after she passed away. Malik posts this. I love you, best friend for life. I got you 100 is what he writes at the top. And the memory was from a year ago, and it is of Daejhanae. So that's giving, you were there. You support everything Daejhanae did. Literally. You said you got her back 100% the day after that girl passed away. Y'all were at home when Malik put that up. His last post. So to me, that's saying that he support everything that she did. Like, I got your back. Is what he's saying. Because now it hit different. You know, like reading it. Because this was on the 30th. She passed away on the 29th. Y'all made it back on the 30th. The majority of them made it back Sunday, the 30th, back into the States, into North Carolina. So I'm like, well, that hit a little different when that's all he posts. I said if it was like a happy birthday or something like that. No, that's not what he posted. He posted at the top, I love you, best friend, is what he posted. I love you, best friend. I got you 100 is what he posted. So to me, that's like you co-signing. Like, I got you. Because he already knew that she was the one who did it. He knew Daejhanae did it. So I got you. No matter what this is giving, if you ask me. That he's stating like, no matter what you go through, no matter how this ends, I got your back. Because he knows what happened. He was there. He was, yeah. I think he wasn't there. This is just his best friend before, she went on that trip. And okay, I'll be like, okay, it is what it is. His friend told him that she ain't had nothing to do with it, blah, blah, blah. He ride with his friend. That's his best friend. It is what it is. But he was there. So then you come back and say that you got her no matter what. I love you. I love you, best friend. I'm like, wow. So the head look different. Reading it now. So yeah, but neither one of them had any love for Shanquella, because that would have been the last thing you wrote after somebody passed away. Like, this girl just passed away, and you know that Daejhanae did it. So instead of paying homage to her memory or anything like that, you posting the girl that took her life and saying, I love you no matter what? You're posting the chick that took her life. Like, that's crazy. So this, to me, that's what I'm saying. That's a real cosign, because he was there. He knew what happened. He knew. So that's why I say it hit different. I'm just like, wow. So it ain't even the fact of what you wrote. You post this chick knowing what she did. That is what's evil. That is some evil-ish, if you ask me. Because I wouldn't have posted her at all. You don't say nothing about Shanquella. Your last post is bigging up this chick, the chick that did it. That's his last post. Out of all the things that he could have posted, you post Daejhanae, the reason y'all had to flee Mexico in the first place. Shout out to Kevin Moore for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Yes, he chose, because he already knew what was up. So him writing that, I got you no matter what, best friend. Knowing what happened. So they had a plan. They absolutely had a plan. And with Shanquella passing away, again, with that doctor allegedly stating that, she did all of this stuff. Her vital signs were stable when she got there, although the autopsy states that she had already passed away. She states that her vital signs were stable. How would that have been possible if the nurses or the housekeeping or the cleaning crew that came in said that she was hard to the touch at noon? There's no vitals when you get there, ma'am. There is no vitals. There is no vitals. And then the thing about it is would explain why she stayed there for hours, because it must have been some type of conversation that was being had. There had to have been. I mean, you stay there for hours, because she can't convince me that Shanquella was alive when she got there. She was not. It's like, cut the bull already. She was not alive, because if Shanquella was alive, this doctor would not be under investigation. There would be no reason. If the autopsy said that she passed before 6 p.m. Or before 7 p.m., something like that, and then this doctor has her police statement that says that Shanquella was gone at pronounced, deceased at 5:57 p.m., it wouldn't be a big deal. It wouldn't contradict the autopsy. It would align. It would be like, okay, makes sense, completely plausible. But it's not. It absolutely isn't. And it's not just the fact that it wasn't alcohol poisoning. It was the spinal injury. It's not the spinal injury really that throws everything off. It's the time she passed away. How she passed away within that point of the autopsy does not matter. Like, that doesn't matter. It's that the times are conflicting. So it's like, rather she passed away from alcohol poisoning, or rather she passed away from this spinal injury, why doesn't her passing, the time she passed away, align? Why? Like that, they still don't align, you know. So I mean, like that still doesn't even makes no sense, you know, to me, because that's still not up. So like again, that doctor is crooked. That doctor is crooked. Can anybody convince me of anything of the other? That the doctor is crooked, because again, because she never said that Shanquella spoke, you know, or none of that. That's what I'm saying. You're basically explaining someone that is deceased. Like, I just didn't understand that. I'm like, you're not explaining a girl that was intoxicated. Like, that's not what you're explaining. Especially lying, saying that that girl was moving. No, she was not. No, she was not. And I believe that Shanquella may have had a seizure, but I don't think that the seizure was after the doctor came. That seizure happened before she got there. I honestly believe that. I do not believe that that seizure happened while that doctor was there. No, absolutely not. And then with Geraldo's news story that he stated tonight, he didn't say anything about the doctor stating that there was a seizure either. Because again, she had to have been deceased already when the doctor arrived. That lines up. Her being alive does not. And that's the problem. Because she definitely was not alive at 3 o'clock. She wasn't. She wasn't. And that doctor can't prove that, because that doctor was not counting on that autopsy. She was just counting on her word. As a doctor, I pronounced her deceased, you know, and whatnot. Here's what she passed away of. Put this on the death certificate, write it up, get rid of it. So that's why when people say that they did an autopsy and the family requested a second one, no, I believe the first autopsy was the parents' request. There was no autopsy done before that, because then why the death certificate? Because they would have knew the cause of death. They would have knew that, because the death certificate did not match the autopsy either. Like, neither one of them did. The death certificate made it seem as if the death was accidental. And the autopsy made it seem like it was accidental or violent. You know, so it's completely different. You know, like they're not the same. It's like, what is going on here? You know, like what is the problem? So again, I think that the doctor did not expect an autopsy. She did not expect that. And I think that was part of the conversation, is that she said, they're not going to do an autopsy because I'm a doctor. So what I declare, they're going to believe. They'll believe it. So, and I just don't think that Shanquella was alive. I don't. It will make sense that something happened to her between 7 o'clock and noon. That would make sense. But because again, from the video, it looked like the injuries occurred in the morning. It looked like it was daytime, like early in the morning, not like late in the evenings where like the sun's setting. It was more so like a sunrise type of shine in the room. It was very bright in there. It's like everything was illuminated. You could see everything in the room from a shadow. So you see everything clearly. So I believe it was early in the day. And I don't believe that video is Shanquella's passing. I don't believe that unless there's some type of video proof that Shanquella did not move after that. Because they definitely moved her from the floor of that suite into the bathroom. I do believe that Shanquella never got back up with whatever happened. So again, if that is the video, where's the proof that because she had her hands on her face. And that's what I wish I could show it, but I don't want to show it. But I will show you that she had her hands on her face at the end of the video. So she was still in control, you know, of her joints, ligaments, bone, like she was still in control. So that injury is more so of like flopping, you know, type of injury, like not moving type of injury, not it just hurt real bad. No, that is affecting you immediately. You're breathing, everything, type of situation. from what I read, it's like if you ever knocked the wind out of yourself, like plopping on the ground too hard. Like I remember this one time I was sledding and I ran forward and I jumped and I like landed on my back on the sled and it was like hit real hard and it's like it's like I literally couldn't breathe type of situation. I hear it, the pain is like that, but times 10. So it's like if you ever done something to knock the wind out of you, they call it. Yeah. Here's like that, but like 10 times worse. So it's already hard enough to try to breathe again when you just like knocked your lungs basically like your breathing cycle off course just for it was more so of a minor matter thing at that moment, but it is painful, to do so. I can imagine it being, times 10. So it was a struggle for her to breathe immediately. So she wouldn't have had much movement or no movement at all. Is what a lot of the nurses that I've seen discuss it state that type of injury is an instant type of paralyzing type of situation. Like she could have easily have been paralyzed, and people and the people there were looking at it as she passed away when she actually wasn't. So I believe that they thought that she was gone immediately when she was actually still alive. I think that's why they went and placed her on the toilet. Shout out to Bebe. She said, "This is too scary and very sad lesson for all. Beware of those around you." I agree. Shout out to Golden M for the super sticker as well. Thank y'all so much. So Nazir, what about Nazir? That injury again. Paralyzed. So yeah, she could have been, but I think that that's why they moved her, and without realizing that she was still alive. That's what they would have called the police immediately. I still don't know if that would have helped. From what the doctors and nurses online, like the real doctors and real nurses that I watched online, they said that at that point it wouldn't have really mattered that she was going to be gone no matter what, because that's like not a literal like execution, but it's like that type of injury is like an execution, like it's over within minutes. Like you're not going to last a half hour no, and that's the respond time with most emergency personnel. So even if they would have called at 2:13, by the time the medical personnel would have got there, no different than the doctor getting there an hour later, it would have been close to the same thing with the emergency response, 30 to 35 minutes, maybe 40 tops for them to get there. It's not like it would have been like 5 minutes later, they pulling in a driveway, 10 minutes later, they're pulling in the driveway. That's the type of injury it is, to where you need immediate medical assistance. And from the injury as well, I heard one of the doctors was stating that not even a ventilator basically would have helped her. That he was like that probably wouldn't even been anything to even recommend at that point, because by the time she got here, she would have been gone. Is how he was placing it, and he put up a map of the villa from the closest hospital, which was where the doctor came from, the American hospital. That was the closest one. And he stated it was going to take them at least 25-30 minutes to get there, tops, even driving fast. It was still going to take them some time. So how bad of an injury that was it. It's like basically it had to happen either across the street or down the street. And there was still no guarantee, of saving her. So yeah, they really messed her up. They really did. And the 15 minutes that she lived after that, she was slumped over a toilet. Like they literally put that girl on the toilet. And I believe they put her on the toilet, in my opinion, it's because she had a seizure. So make it look like she's sick. Make it look like she was over here vomiting. And put her, around the tub. Around the toilet, to make it look as if she was sick. And she went there, and I think that how they placed her body ended up like falling over. I think, honestly. I think they placed her there, and why her body fell over, because it's like her neck super wobbly, and whatnot. So I think her body just kind of fell over to the side of the floor, and that's how the maid found her, slunched over on the floor, and she had already passed away. The maid touched her. She was hard to touch, and she went and told them like, something is wrong with your friend, and them all hanging out at a different part because they all left her in there. I do believe that. I do believe because if a maid found her, that means that nobody was there. And Nazir and others did state that a maid did find her. So that has been something that has, went around a lot. So there may be some type of truth to that. So if a maid found her, it would make sense that no one was there. And I think at that time, Nazir may have been on his way, like almost there, type of situation. And then they came out, the cleaning crew went and found the group or was someone from the group and told them like, hey, your friend is blah, blah, blah. And they lied and told the maid or, whatever, oh, she's sick, is there, somebody that we can call? Can you call a doctor or something? She has alcohol. She drank a lot of liquor. She drank a lot of alcohol. Although nobody stated what alcohol she was drinking, or anything like that. But they kept saying it was alcohol poisoning. And because I'm not even going to get into that, but so they called, Winter, they called allegedly the doctor for the doctor to come. But Geraldo said that, I believe he said that one of the housekeepers actually called the doctor for her to come and check on Shanquella. So I was confused about that because I thought it was Winter. But at the beginning of that report, it did say it was unclear into who called the doctor. That was stated at first, and then it was stated in other places that it was Winter that called. But it did state that at first, I do, because we read it. We read the article over here, and it stated that it was unclear in the police report. It stated that it was unclear who called the doctor. That person was not named, but insinuated to be Winter because Winter is the one who ended up calling the police at, the time she called, which was at 5-something. I believe Winter ended up calling the police, and it was allegedly after Shanquella had the seizure. So, I mean, again, I don't know, but I just know that she was already gone, and they knew that she was gone, so they all left because they didn't want to be responsible in any way. So it's like, if we don't find her, if somebody else finds her, because I think it would be a really good question if they put on the doors, because well, if you don't know, carefully, when you're in Airbnbs and stuff, they're treated just like hotels, pretty much most of them. You can put outside your door if you want someone to come and clean, or if you don't want them in your room. And when most people, like especially after the first day, if you don't really need anything in your room clean, it's just like all you did was because you were barely in there. All you did was sleep in it and then, woke up. You don't need to come fluff nothing. You don't need to come make up my bed. You don't need to come do none of that. Leave it as is. So, most people will want their room left as is. I mean, especially if you're the type of person that leaves stuff in places. You got a lot of clothes, so you got clothes and your makeup out and just whatever. So you really don't want your stuff bothered with, right? And so I think it's a good question if they ask, did they have like the maid, because it's the thing that you put around the door. I forget what it's called, but the sign that says "Do Not Disturb," or they also have a B&B's like maid service or "Do Not Disturb." So it's like one or the other. And I think that they may have put like the maid thing out there just to make sure that a maid came in and cleaned so that somebody else could find her, and that's why they placed her there, because they didn't want to be the one on record finding her. Meaning, like, we don't want any attachment to it at all. We'll have somebody else find her, and then when they do, we will come act like, oh, what? like we don't know anything, type of situation. And I believe that that's what they did. So with Nazir coming, I think he was coming like right within that time of the maids discovering her and coming to tell them. But they knew that Shanquella had passed. They knew she wasn't alive. They knew it. They were just figuring out ways of how, well, not even figuring out ways. What they needed to do was blame it on alcohol. That is what they needed to do. And they needed to make it seem as if they were sincere about being worried about the alcohol poisoning by getting in contact with the doctor, by doing those things, let's make it look like we care. Because they knew the whole time she was gone. I don't care what anybody says. And she was already gone when that doctor got there. They needed somebody else to discover her. So they used the maids to do so. Because everybody gone but y'all. But Shanquella. All of y'all out here hanging out but Shanquella. They had already been isolating the girl. So, that wouldn't have been really no surprise to anybody. But if you pay attention, these are girls that are always on their phones, always posting to social media, always doing that. On the day of after that incident, after the physical altercation happened, none of them posted anything else. None of them posted anything else. There was no post. There was no post. That's how you knew something went down. And that's another thing to me that's very telling. Because none of them posted anything. You go from posting all the time, on IG especially. Posting all the time. Y'all damn near got every move. Any scenery you have, any food you eat, any liquor you got, y'all posting it. And then after that incident happened on Saturday, there's no more posting. Nobody posted anything. So they already knew what was up. They did, and they were concocting a plan. And their plan was to get out of there by any means necessary. They also need to check transactions, and I'm sure that they have checked transactions to see if there was any payment. And maybe that's another reason why this doctor may be under investigation. If one of them received a decent sum of money or some money was removed from Shanquella's account. Look at that as well. So is what I would say, like, for motive and whatnot. But yeah, I would definitely look into those things. Because if he asked, because Salamandra stated that Khalil asked her to send him $5,000. Now, he had to be pretty close. And as you see, I'm going to pull it back up. As you see, Khalil was close to this family. Close to this family. Very close. So Khalil calling her, asking her to wire him $5,000 is not far-fetched. That's something that makes complete sense. That he will call and ask her because he knows that this family has money. He knows that Salamandra is not a poor woman. He knows that she has funds, and he knows that she's also connected to Shanquella's funds. And I think he may have wanted a different type of information from her, thinking that she is connected to Shanquella, so she has access to Shanquella's money, in some way, shape, or form, to where it's like, well, you can just send me $5,000, because I know you got it. Because you're not going to ask someone for something that you don't think have it. If you're going to call a family member or a relative or somebody or just anybody, if you don't feel that they have it, you're not going to request it. If you feel like a person don't have $5,000 to spare, $100 to spare, you're not going to call and ask for it. So for him to call her and ask Salamandra for $5,000, he knows she got it. He knows that. Been around this family as close as he is, he know who got what and who don't. He know. Just like when it was time to send to pay for Shanquella's body to get her home and all of that, her family paid for it. Salamandra Bernard, they took care of it. They paid for it. So he knows that there's money there. He knows. Mm-hmm. He knows that there's money. So if Salamandra which again, it was his excuse is what threw Salamandra off. I think if he would have named something that would have made sense to send $5,000 for, she would have done so. But she like, no, my daughter got health insurance. You know, she should be fine. Like she should be covered. And whatever she's not covered on, like copay wise, she ain't got to pay that till later. And then if anything, the hospitals there do not deny. You know, so it's like it's not that it's if she has insurance, but they don't accept her insurance, they're still going to accept her. They're not going to say no, because if anything, they would just charge her after they serviced her, because they can't charge her before. Oh, you have a broken neck, $6,157.33. Like, yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. And they don't know what they have to use and what they're going to do, what medicines, all of that. They got to wait until they're done with you in order to bill you. So that's why they don't deny you. So that's a lie. When him saying that they don't accept her insurance, that's bull. Even if they don't, they'll still bring her in. They'll still care for her. They'll still do that. They'll just bill her when she's done. Rather she has insurance or rather she doesn't. That's just how it goes. But they're definitely going to accept her if she has insurance, because even if she has to pay out of pocket, her insurance is going to reimburse her, even if it's in another country. So if they say, well, you owe us $5,000, she pays it, and then she just gives it to her insurance company. Like, look, I paid $5,000 over there to take our insurance. And the insurance company has to reimburse her. So she would have been able to be looked after. So you could stop trying to make it seem like Mexico is like you got to pay $10,000 just to walk in certain doors. Like, you're weird. You're weird. Like, don't make them inhumane. It's like the how you trying to, oh, it's third world country down there. It's like, boy. So that threw Salamandra off. So Salamandra's just like, okay, well, why would I send you $5,000? That doesn't make any sense. And with what was going on, I understand why she didn't ask me questions. You know, it's just like, okay, well, just get her to the hospital. You know, just take care of, because he's not saying it's $5,000 for her bill. He's saying it's $5,000 for her to be seen. What? Where are you taking her to? What I think he was saying to her, no regards for human life. They thought they were smart, but not smart enough. Agreed. The $5,000 was for, because I don't think Khalil was lying when he said that. I don't. And y'all want to know why? This is just my opinion. When Khalil called and asked Salamandra's mom for the $5,000, it was for the doctor that they already had. So I don't know if it was for the alibi or what, but that $5,000 was for Beatrice. That's what I'm getting from it. It wasn't to take her to the emergency room. He wanted her to send her $5,000 so that he could give it to the doctor for her service. Rather, he was looking to, because she could still charge for coming to see Shanquella. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the doctor came from the hospital to see Shanquella. You got to pay for that. That's not free. That's what I think. That the $5,000 was for her because she came from the hospital privately to come and see Shanquella. And she charged him $5,000. And now, I don't know if more came with the alibi. If I don't know. I don't know if it was alibi included, $2,500 for coming to see her, and $2,500 for the alibi, $5,000. I don't know, but I think that's what the $5,000 was for. It was for the doctor coming outside of the hospital to come and see her. That's going to have to be paid for. That's not free. A doctor coming from a hospital to see you. When he's, and another reason I think that is because he said to Salamandra that they don't take her insurance. That doctor don't take insurance. She take cash. She making a house call. So no, she don't accept Shanquella insurance. That's, I mean, am I off? That's just what I'm thinking. I'm just saying, in my opinion. She don't accept Shanquella insurance. No. Give me cash. That's how I was viewing it. Like, no, I'm not about to wait for payment. Like, no, you're gonna pay me now. Yeah, I don't accept that. I don't know what that is. Mm-mm. Give me 5,000 American dollars, or y'all going to jail. So that's why I said check the transactions, because if Salamandra didn't send it, maybe somebody else did. Or maybe they found a way to get it out of Shanquella's account, or something like that. Because that's what I'm saying. I don't think he was lying. I just don't think how we were taking it. It was Khalil was saying that she had to get. He needed $5,000 for Shanquella to be seen at the hospital, and he was lying and not telling Shanquella's mom that the doctor came from the hospital here. So I need $5,000 to pay this doctor that came from the hospital to see your daughter. And why he feels like he can ask her for it is because it's her daughter, not realizing the money was more so for extortion or blackmail instead of a house call. Because even a house call shouldn't be $5,000, and all you get was an IV bag to a person that was deceased. That bill should have been real cheap. You came in, up, she ain't got no pulse, up, she ain't breathing, up, she dead. Call the police. Bye. That should have been a real. You should have owed them number about. They should have owed you nothing about like $300, like $150, $120. It should have been $5,000. $5,000 for what? That girl was deceased when you got there. You chose to stay hours when the autopsy indicates that she had already passed away upon your arrival, ma'am. She had already passed away upon your arrival, ma'am. We have a problem here. Why does it cost $5,000 anyway? Like, she was gone when you got here, sweetie. So that should have been a cute little $200, so whatever her hourly is. And most doctors, they not $2,000-$3,000 an hour. Like, no. Most like lawyers and whatnot, they got the high ones $150, $200, but it's by hour. It's not charging them like you're doing an operation. That's what hospitals are for. You came there, pushed that IV bag inside of a body that was going through rigor mortis. You're disgusting. That nurse is disgusting. You sat there and did CPR on a body that you knew that had already perished. You did that. You did that. So yeah, that's when I thought back on it. I was just like, oh, okay, well, Khalil was telling the truth to a certain extent. He wasn't telling the mom the truth though, because he said it's alcohol poisoning when they didn't sit here and did what they did to this girl. And of course he's not going to tell her that, because but maybe somebody else gave them the $5,000, because again, the doctor did exactly what they needed. So she got that money in some way, shape, or form. She did. There was some type of exchange. Now, rather it was when they got back, if they didn't do it, while it was over here, maybe they made a deal like, well, how do we know? We give you this money, and then we get to the airport, and then here come the federales, or they'll let us through the gates. Girl, how do we know that? How do we know that? Okay, well, they was like, okay, look, we give you half now, and we give you the other half when we make it back to the States, so that we know we gonna make it back. That's how we know you ain't gonna snitch when we get to the airport. Right as we about to board, here they come, looking for us. So that's why I said check everything. Check everything, all the payments, all of them, even from now, from this month, last month, all of that. Check everything. See if anything was sent over yonder. See if anything was sent over yonder. Mm-hmm. But because the doctor did what they needed. The alibi she gave them. But God don't like ugly. That's why that autopsy reveals the truth, and it won't go away. It won't go away, because if they could, they get rid of that. They get rid of that autopsy so quick. But it's too public. It's too public. It's everywhere. That's why they haven't even tried to do anything about it because it's too late. That autopsy is everywhere. Now you can't hide something that everybody done seen. So that autopsy is everywhere. And the facts still don't add up. The police report, basura. Because it's completely off. It contradicts everything. It contradicts everything. So I do think, again, that $5,000 was for Dr. Kevorkian and Carolina Beatrice. I think it was for her. He just, again, he was lying to her face, telling Salamandra that it was alcohol poisoning. So why wouldn't he be lying about the doctor as well? And, saying like, look, I need $5,000. I just can't tell you what I need it for. So, but let me hold 5Gs. Can't tell you why. And again, his excuse was alarming to her, to Salamandra, because she's just like, okay, my daughter got insurance. That don't make any sense. And that's what made me put two and two together, because I'm like, okay, well, yeah, she said her daughter got insurance, but that doctor ain't going to accept no damn insurance. She's not going to accept insurance. She's going to want her payment right then and there. It's not the hospital. Now, the hospital will wait for insurance, and things in that nature. They will. But somebody coming to make a house call, no, they want their payment right then and there. Oh, they want to be paid. They want to be paid. So that's who he was talking about. He was talking about the doctor that got to lie for him. Is what he was talking about. And I think maybe all together, maybe they came up with half the money. Maybe like Elise, Malik, Daejhanae, Khalil. Maybe they all went, cleared out their little bank accounts, cleared out their little, dried out their little ATM cards, and maybe came up with like $2,500 together. And then, told her they'd give her the other $2,500 when they make it back to the States, That could be very possible because, again, she was there for hours. So there was conversations had. There was. And the main thing that they were worried about was their freedom. So it's half the battle, just the alibi. They still need to get out of the country. Like, they still need to leave. So it's like, we need to make sure that we are going to make it out of here. Because if we don't make it out of here, what's the point? They even giving you any money? Like, what's the point of you giving us an alibi if we're going to get caught anyway? So the doctor, again, from that police report, gave them an ironclad reason to leave without any pursuing, because forensics and stuff, when they go in there, because it stated that forensics took pictures and whatnot, got fingerprints and all of that, but it wasn't a crime scene. It's not like she was, like there's going to be gore and stuff everywhere. No, just because it doesn't look like a crime scene doesn't mean that it's not a crime scene, is what I was getting from it. I'm just like, well, it's still a crime scene. Like, rather, because a crime was committed. I mean, like, it's still happened, so, yeah. I don't get, besides the seizure, that, and that's not like it's going to be a discolor in the floor or anything like that. Again, yeah, I think that they put her in there just like that. What I want to know from Nazir, if I could ask him any question, I would just want to know, did Shanquella have on clothes? And then I also want to know that from the maids. Did she have on clothes or was she still naked? Like, because I'm confused. It's like, so when they found her in the bathroom, was she clothed? Like, did she have clothes on? Or, because them finding her on the floor, they just said that they found a female in the living room on the floor. It didn't say that she was nude. So I wonder if when Nazir allegedly got there and, he said that she was in the bed, and all of that, because it's like, how did she get in the bed? Because the maids, from what it sounds like, they didn't move her. The maids didn't touch her. Besides, I think the maids was about to help her, but when they, went to, like, ma'am, like, are you okay? And went to, like, try to help her or assist her up, felt how hard her body was, and that freaked them out, because when rigor mortis, it's like everything becomes really stiff, they're real stiff, and whatever position you are in, that's how you'll stiffen. So she fell to the side of the toilet, and the rigor mortis, setting in, whatnot. When she went to touch her, it's a different type of touch, touching a body that's no longer warm, is becoming cold and whatnot. That's a different type of touch. Shout out to Deanna for the super sticker. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I just feel like, yeah, they did a lot. They did a lot to her. So yeah, yes, Lab guys, they did a lot to her. That was nothing small. That was nothing small. They definitely did a lot. Her passing away, because she passed away on the toilet. She absolutely did, because that's where they placed her. Because the maids found her in the bathroom, and Azir said that the maids found her in the bathroom, like hugging the, around the toilet, type of situation. But he didn't find her that way. When he got there, she was in the bed. So it's like, well, how did she get to the bed? Because the maid, it sounds as if it freaked her out when she touched her, and her body was hardening from rigor mortis. So it sounds like she didn't touch her. After that, it's kind of like, because again, touching someone going through rigor mortis, it is a shock, to the system. So because you realize that this person is not alive, like it's like instantly. It's just a feeling plus what you visually see. You don't see their body going up and down, or anything like that. If their eyes are open and whatnot, it's more so of like a dead stare, things in that nature. But with Shanquella's injury, who knows how she actually looked when they saw her. But again, I'm even questioning the not first responders, the housekeepers, because if you knew that her body was hard, because that's how she explained it. She didn't explain it, allegedly as a girl in there that was drunk. That's not how the housekeepers explained it. They explained it more so of a girl that was in there and she was hard to the touch and didn't move. That now they didn't necessarily say she was deceased, but they were just like, pretty much, is what they were explaining, a deceased person. Just like the doctor. The doctor explained a deceased person. Shout out to Fire Ice for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Welcome. Because that's very confusing. I'm wondering if any attended the funeral. Nazir allegedly did. Nazir, he didn't go in the funeral, but he was allegedly in the parking lot of the funeral. Yeah, she said unresponsive, but she never said anything about her, because she explained a person that was deceased. Unresponsive. She's her muttering words and not being able to. She didn't even say that. She said that she was unable to speak. So that means she passed away. Like, lady, you're explaining someone that is deceased. You're not explaining someone that is alive. Like, you're not explaining that at all. She never spoke to you. She never told you if it hurt, where it hurt, nothing. Like, you never spoke to this girl, and you're trying to make it seem like she was alive because she allegedly had stable vitals. Like, no, that's bullshit. You're lying. Lab Gas Gospel says, Sean, I don't think Winter was FaceTiming. When I did a frame by frame, it looks like their bodies morphed. It appears to be a man on the phone, but it isn't. Interesting. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at that. Shout out to Live Gas and Gossip. I'm gonna look into that because you never know. You might be right. She might not have been FaceTiming. Who knows? Oh no, Sean, you did not shout me out last week because then I can't remember. Welcome, welcome, baby. Welcome to the member gang. I'm sorry. Hi, the Candy Shop. Y'all get over there and subscribe to Candy Shop. Love her. Y'all get over there and subscribe. But yeah, I just feel like they should have reported that. Like, why not report that her body was hard, and all of that and whatnot. Again, it just feels like a cover up from the Capo Villa itself. It definitely seems that way, like they're just trying to keep, their business afloat and leaving certain things out, because that definitely should have been something discussed by the police. The police should have known that information, and the police definitely did not, especially at that time. So rigor mortis can be 10 minutes to several hours. That's why, again, I don't know for sure, but it's stated that whatever happened to her happened between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. I don't know how true that is. I have no idea when, because again, like I said, it's just too much. I'm not even opening that can of worms. My next move is my best move said. Laugh gags is correct. It wasn't a FaceTime. She was simply recording and had two men next to her on one side and another recording behind her. Oh, okay. Okay. Shout out to April Bush for becoming a member. Thank you. Shout out to she says, but the doctor is the one who needs to be hung out to dry, and she is. They're not going to play with her. They're not. She effed her own self over. She didn't have to. She did not have to give them this alibi. If not for this doctor, because this is another thing, they fled the country because of the doctor. If the doctor would not have given that statement to the police, they wouldn't have. I feel like other things may have been looked at, but with her giving them a clear cut way out of the country, I feel like she's just as responsible as for them fleeing. She definitely did that. She got them out of the country. Shout out to Janae. She says, congrats on 101K. So proud of you. All these MFs needs to go down. It's a little pure evilness in this tragedy. I cannot agree with you more. Shout out to you, Janae. Love you, sweetie. I can agree more. Is it Nicholas BCB? Sean, I have more information. Okay. At Sean Everywhere Show at IG. Hit me up. Midnight 101 says they moved her around to take photos to make it seem like she had alcohol poisoning. That's where that came into play. She was already gone. Possible. I just think that they moved her so it didn't look as if there was a physical altercation. In my opinion, I don't think, because you can't make somebody look like they have alcohol poisoning. It's like they either do or they don't. So I feel like they wanted to place her elsewhere. Shout out to the Official King Payne. Y'all get over there and subscribe to my boy. Shout out to the Official King Payne. Yeah, I just think that they just didn't want to get caught. So they moved her in a position and in a situation to make it look like she did it to herself, versus to them having any involvement. Because if they would have left her in the floor by that bed, allegedly where it happened, that's not giving, again, because it's like, how do you set up something to look like alcohol poisoning? I mean, it either is or it just simply isn't. She's not arrested for real. She is detained. She's not in America. Is she arrested? No. Mexico will be arresting her. Mexico, where the crime was committed. She did not commit a crime in America. So she is not being held, like she's not being like literally arrested. She's being detained so that she can be arrested. Is what's going on. You're arrested for a crime. Winter being arrested right now, she's committed no crime here. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at with that. But she is detained to be arrested, to be extradited, to be arrested. She'll be arrested in Mexico. That's where she will be serving her time. Shout out to Tanya. She said, my father was found unresponsive and he was alive, just needed fluids. When Shanquella, when they first slammed her on the ground, she was unresponsive, but she was still alive. She wasn't gone. And she was not. She was alive for at least 15 minutes after she sustained those injuries. So that happens a lot of times. So just because a person is unresponsive does not mean that they are gone. That's why with CPR, there's certain things you check. So if you come into a room, shout out to Tamani for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker. I hope I'm saying that right. Tamani, thank you so much. Okay, I'll send that in a second. With coming in a room and finding somebody unresponsive, when that happens, you don't just automatically go to like CPR, and stuff like that. You check them. You make sure that they're breathing, and whatnot. Okay, Nicola, hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Hold on, let me see. Please don't send me nothing from another YouTuber. I do not want to hear. I don't, unless it's just their opinion. If it's their opinion, I don't mind hearing that at all. But yeah, please don't send me. Her cousin speaks. Who is this? What really happened? No, they're no. Thank you, but y'all pass. Again, if it's not from, if your last name ain't Robinson and you ain't connected to the family, like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care to hear from anybody that's supposed to be something. No, if Salamandra ain't claiming them, if Salamandra ain't said your name, if Quilla ain't said your name, if Bernard ain't said your name, I really don't care. I'll leave that right where it's at, because again, no, if you weren't there, you don't know what happened. So if this alleged cousin is not one of the Cabo Six, I don't care. I'm over the interviews and all of that stuff about people that weren't there. I want to hear from somebody that was there. Like, I want to hear from somebody that knows something. I don't want to hear from somebody that I done heard enough opinions and theories, and I done heard enough of them. Like, even for myself. So. Her flip. If it's not from one of those people, I'm good. And also with interviews, if the interview ain't with somebody that is related to the Robinson family, like literally directly related, meaning have pictures, putting up a bunch of pictures with this and that has something relevant to say. Like, if they just want to, if it's an interview about them just talking about their life and knowing Shanquella, then send it to me, because I want to see it. But if it's a cousin or one twice removed or something like that wasn't there and don't know what's going on, I don't care. Like, I literally don't care to hear what they have to say. I don't care. But if not, they just talking about their life with Shanquella and memories of her and stuff like that, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But for the people that swear up and down they know what was going on because they weren't there, I'll pass. I'm tired. I've been sent to too many distractions, because that's all they are, is distractions. Clout chasing distractions. What big of a deal is it that you're related to Shanquella besides peace, remembering her? I don't feel like you need to outwardly be known because she was your cousin. So you coming to a point. Not about that night. That's what I'm saying. You weren't there, So I'm over the friend of a friend, the cousin of a cousin. Does it over it. Jamie Jewell says, so where did the story about having a seizure come into play? The doctor stated that after she gave her an IV and of fluids, we don't know what was in the IV, but after she gave her the IV of fluids, sometime after that, she ended up seizing, going into a seizure. And that's when Winter Donovan allegedly panicked and called 911. But it's alleged in the video that I guess isn't a video anymore. When she was slammed to the ground, she didn't get up, and shortly after, she had a seizure. So that it's two versions of it. So that's where the seizures come in. Sorry, I wish I could tell you more about that Jamie girl, but that's all I know. Is that it was allegedly two seizures. She allegedly had a seizure right after the incident, and she allegedly had a seizure when the doctor got there. Um, so there's two different seizures. Yeah. The father said it was. The father said it was what? The father said it was. Shout out to Felicia for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetie. Lola said, "Can an IV be given to a deceased person?" Yeah. I mean, it seems to be that way. I mean, there are certain fluids added into people that are deceased, like embalming fluid and stuff like that. So I feel like if that type of stuff can be entered, yeah. And again, rigor mortis was setting in, so veins are still going to be present, but I don't know. I feel like yeah, I feel like you still could, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Songbird for becoming a member. Thank you. Welcome to the gang. Gang. Welcome. Shout out to Fire Eyes. She says, new member and subscriber. What you are doing for Shanquella is truly amazing. Congrats on your 101K. Finally, y'all keep saying 101. That was so cute. You've taken a horrific situation and brought clarity and entertainment to the situation. Justice for Shanquella. Thank you so much, Fire Eyes. And thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Um, Drunken Tarot says second video. Oh, so it's being alleged now that there is no second video. That there is no second video. That allegedly Shanquella passed away in the first video that we all seen the viral video. Shout out to Mon Denise. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sweetie. Um, She is in jail. A credible source releases today the feds came for her last night. She is in a holding cell with Interpol awaiting to be arrested in Mexico. Correct. 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 Absolutely. Detroit says, we thank you, Sean, for your support, time, and care about Shanquella and her entire family. Shout out to you. It's a Detroit soloist. Thank you. And no, I agree. I'm just trying not to um I don't know. I just anybody that's not involved, I feel like they should just stay out of it. I feel like that whole family wants justice, and all they can do is wait around for it, and keep fighting the good fight. Alleged cousins and stuff like that going around talking about Shanquella like they were there. You weren't. So there's nothing besides clout that you want from the situation. You can't convince me of anything other, because the first thing a person like them gonna say, I don't want no clout. I don't want no attention. I don't need no click. I don't need no view. I don't need no that. Then why are you here? Do it on your own platforms that y'all care so much about said situation. It's better to you just talk on your own. You don't need to be interviewed to state how you feel. Whether you're upset, sad, or mad, you're entitled to all of those feelings, but it just comes off as more genuine if you do those things on your own instead of going to sit with other people, because you may not want to click and view, but they do. So that takes it away from it being genuine as well. So yeah, you may not, want to be viewed, but they do. Who you talking to want to. So yeah. So you may not look at it as a cop chase, but they do. That's why it's better to just do it on your own, because then it doesn't look like a cop chase. Like you're a family member, you're on your own YouTube or IG or Bigo or wherever, you are, and you're stating how you feel about the situation. You're stating what you think. I think that's great. And, I have nothing against that. But anybody that's going to sit on another YouTuber platform that swear that they're related to her, that's not Quilla, Bernard or Salamandra, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. I really don't. I don't care. Shout out to Jamie Jules again. She said the story is heartbreaking. Thank you for covering it and sticking to the facts. I feel like that's all I can do. Is stick to the facts. There's not many of them because this story changes like the time on the clock. Like it just every time we look up it's something different. You know, like it's just like, can we stick to the facts instead of all of this person told me, this person said, if you go over to this channel, it's just like all the same channels should be talking about the same topic. Because all of us like are talking about Shanquella, right? But it's like all of us are talking about her differently, and we shouldn't be. Because in normal topics, like when we're doing hot topics and stuff like that, if Cardi B did something or Nicki Minaj or something like that, then we're all talking about the same topic, just expressing ourselves and having a different delivery. But when it comes to Shanquella, it's like everybody's talking about something different. Maybe talk about a piece of the same thing, but it all just ventures off into something. So it's so much confusion that is surrounding it that I feel like it's better to just deal in facts. Just deal in what we can know, deal in what's tangible, deal in what we can see, feel, or touch. Other than that, because it's just too much at this point. Then you have now again like family members that have no involvement involving themselves. So instead of talking about Shanquella, now people want to talk about what this family member say. It's not about the family member. They're alive, they're breathing. It's not about them. So if they're not stating it from their own platform, if they're going to other people stating it, I'll pass. I'm good. I'm good on all that. I'm good on all that. I'll pass. I'll pass. The internet has moved on from her, but real supporters and those that want to get her justice won't move on. Justice for you, baby girl. See, that's another thing too. When you are talking about these type of situations, if you truly want to see something happen, then you do just that. You stay on it. You stay on the story. When you hop and skip from things, it's so easy to get distracted to where we lose focus of the true matter of what's going on. People love to try to make certain people that talk about this situation clout chasers. No, there are some very genuine people that talk about this topic that truly want to see justice. There's many ways of clout chasing around this situation. When I go live, I go live. That's it. I'm not bringing nobody over here to stir the pot. I'm not bringing anybody over here to mess up this investigation. I am not trying to solve this case. I am not trying to involve myself in the case to where certain people are getting contact with me for what? I'm giving commentary. I'm a YouTuber. That is what I'm doing. And I have to be entertaining in the process, but I truly want justice for Shanquella Robinson. I really do. There's other means of going on. If I'm going to clout chase about it, there's other ways of going about it. There's other ways. I don't have to go live. I don't have to do any of that. I absolutely do not. Going live keeps it alive. And that's what I'm going to do, literally. I don't care who don't like it. But again, I go live alone. I'm not alive over here with ex-boyfriends and reporters and mamas and daddies. And I'm not over here doing none of that. I'm not interjecting myself. I'm not being insensitive about while a family's grieving, asking them questions and trying to get them to come on my platform so that I can be. I ain't doing none of that shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, okay. Clout off what? If I truly want a clout, I could be reaching out to these people. You think if they don't sit with them, they ain't going to sit with me? like, I mean, Shauna wasn't really breaking in the numbers, when it's coming to it. So in their best interest, if they want to raise awareness to it, sitting with somebody like me would be great. But again, I'm not disrespectful. I've sent out love to that family. They're not content to me. They're grieving. They're grieving. Like, that ain't content. Not to me. Like, gross. So again, like, I could be doing all of that. I'm not over here trying to create a storm. I'm not over here trying to create a narrative or be the headquarters for the situation. I'm not trying to do none of that. I just simply want to see the girl get justice. And the federal government is going to be the one to bring it. Not no damn YouTuber, not no TikToker. None of them. None of them. None of them are going to bring her justice. No, we need to stay on the people's backs, like the FBI and the Mexican government, to make sure that they serve this girl the justice that is due to her. That's the point of us. But we ain't locking nobody up. We're not doing none of that. But we can definitely F up these cases. So I'm not talking to nobody about nothing. I don't want to get involved. Again, I did not know Shanquella. I do not know Salamandra. I do not know Bernard. And if I did, I would not exploit them. I would not do that. Like that is not my intention, because I could. If I cared about being viral, let me make sure I interview somebody else every single day. No, I don't have to do that. I don't have to. The people show up for the king for reasons. That ain't being one of them. I'm not a gimmick, I'm talent. And that's why people show up. Oops. Yeah, I don't need props and none of that stuff. I don't need no trick up. I don't need none of that. All I got to do is hit go live. And boom. Ain't no this person coming tonight, this person coming to say this person coming to say that. No, I'm not trying to control the story. Because again, I don't know what happened. And then nobody brought nobody on a platform that knows what happened either. Again, the Cabo 6 ain't spoke to none of these hoes, including me. They ain't spoke to me neither. Like, girl, her flip. Like, girl, who's talking to the people that was there? Oh, nobody? Oh, okay, her flip. So run and watch who for what. That's why I said, don't refer me to no more goddamn interviews. I don't give a good goddamn. If it is not somebody from the Robinson family or somebody from the evil Cabo 6, I don't care. Don't send it to me. I don't care. I don't care they weren't there. I don't care to keep hearing hypotheses, theories, opinions, and assumptions. I'm sick of that. And I'm sure Salamanca family's sick of it too. Like, they keep getting a whole bunch of false alarms. Hair flip. Just a bunch of false alarms. Just a bunch of people that swear they know what they're talking about, and they don't. Everything I say is opinion-based. I do not know. I'm going to say this every live. I do not know what happened in that room. I don't know what happened to Shanquella. Besides, it shouldn't have. From that video, it shouldn't have. That's all I know. That's all y'all know. That's it. End of story. That's it. I have one of the corresponding police officers that was there from that night, or the doctor herself that came. Now, if somebody like that is speaking, hit me up. Let me know. But the reporters and all of that, I'm over it. Over it. They're making things worse, not better, if you ask me. You're making things worse. Like, just 10 times more confusing than they already were. It's like, this is already a super confusing situation, and we should all be on the same accord. And the accord is to get her justice. So all of this to be the first, and so all of that, y'all can have it. You ain't got to worry about it. Don't none of y'all got to worry about getting backstabbed. Sean ain't got no pending interviews with none of these people. You ain't. They all y'all. They all y'all. Y'all go right ahead. Y'all can have it. y'all can have it. Y'all can talk to the ex-boyfriends and the mamas and the daddies and the cousins and the reporters and interpreters for report. Y'all got it. I'm good. I'll let the police handle what they're supposed to handle. That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, I'm not about to get into, girl, we don't care about these trolls. The trolls are just coming in because they know I'm shading their faves and there ain't nothing they can do about it. I would be pressed too. You or your face ain't gonna do shit. I promise you. Go get on one of them. And one of them. I will check them all. I will drop the link for them all. That's all the trolls come to. They're just pressed. That's all. They're pressed. Because I'm over here shading their favorite creators and it ain't shit they can do about it. Nothing. I'll be mad too. I would be upset as well. You ain't gonna do nothing, and neither is the creator you capping for. Both of y'all can get checked at the same time. Y'all could come up together. That's the problem. Yeah, ain't none of y'all gonna check me, I promise. And I don't give a damn who you watch. You're over here. I don't give a damn. You ain't gonna check me, and neither are they. Like, girl, you're wasting your finger energy. Girl, I promise you, because they're not gonna cap for you like that. They're not. They don't want no issues with the kid. That's why you're over here. Like, girl, like y'all don't matter. Blackety blacky. Like, girl, y'all pressed. That's all that is, I promise you. It ain't Nan creator that's talking about this that's gonna check me. Who? Introduce me to him. Put their name in the chat. Come holla at me. Sean said come check him. What's the problem? Because it doesn't have to be. This is supposed to be about justice. But again, y'all want to make it about everything else. Let's do it. Who jumped up to get beat up? Like what happened? Who gonna check me? No one. Ooh, unfortunate. Ugh. Trolls, I have to remember that. A block away. That's all it is. You ain't gonna do nothing, and neither is the person you copping for. Neither one of y'all, both y'all, punks. I promise. There has never been anybody that has hit go live on YouTube or uploaded a video that I'm afraid of. Nobody. No one, sweetie. So all you gotta do is line them up. They already know how the devil get down. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. So yeah, I mean, it's that simple. I mean, go get your best. We're here. Like, girl, who's supposed to be checking me? Who? Nobody's coming for me. That's what I'm saying, because then I'm being shady. But see, that's the thing about me. I'm not fake. I'll say that I'm being shady, and I am being shady towards other creators. What they gonna do about it? Like, what happened? Like, I mean, it is what it is. I've been talking about these topics. I've been raising awareness. When I raised awareness for Raz B and raised awareness just for so many different people on my platform, like, this is not the first time. So people, y'all may look at it as clout, but I don't look at it that way. I don't. I look at it as raising awareness. I've done some great things. Absolutely have. Even became a partner with Raz B for how much I supported him without his acknowledgement. Without his knowledge. He had no idea. I had been going hard for him for like 2 years. Never sent him one DM, never tagged him in anything, none of that. He found me on his own. Somebody that works for him hit him up and was like, look, this dude be going hard for you. Like, you need to hit him up. And he did. He did just that. So again, we've been doing this. People like the lead attorney and others have not, but get your coin, because that's all it's about. I mean, I don't have a problem with the lead attorney or anything like that, but he only talk about these type of topics when we make him pop. Then all of a sudden he's interested. Like, he wasn't talking about Trans Rena and Cardi B case until we started talking about it. Then all of a sudden it's good enough for him to discuss. So once again, come culture vulture. These ain't even his type of topics, yet he's over here. Okay, girl. Must be bored. So hair flip, like, we does this. So this is something they hip and hop into to collect a coin off of. This is something I do. There's going to be another case, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Like, ain't nobody going, like, I don't care what gets viewed and what doesn't. Like I said, people do not have to be here. I don't care if it was 10 people here, 100 people here, I'm gonna still do what I do. It is what it is. It's not about a number. It's about a number to them. I don't have nothing to do. I don't give a damn about none of this because I didn't ask for it. I mean, you care about things you ask for. I didn't ask for it. So, I mean, but to me, I just look at it as this is what you do. This is what you do. And this is what I do. I've been doing this. I've made videos for Black people, Black women, showing the amazing accomplishments that Black women have overcome and whatnot, doing video on missing Black women in certain cities that have been overlooked. I've been doing that. Been raising awareness for young Black men that have lost been doing that. Because I care about it. I'm not talking about it because it's popular. No, been doing it. Like, it's nothing new. Check my track record. Then go check theirs. So, I mean, it's a little different. I've never seen the lead attorney so worried Oh, when did you start caring about these type of things? New to me, but I mean, go off. No reason to be jealous. Jealous of what I'm doing my thing. Like I'm, but I'm going to be here though. I'm going to be here. You know, they will scurry when something else comes up that's bigger, a bigger case comes up, then they're gone. Shanquella's in the dust until she matters again, until she's viral again. And then all of a sudden, here they come. Then all of a sudden, let's talk about it because it's popular. Let's get all up in this case and involve. That's them. That's not what I do. Okay? I do my content and I move on and I move around. I care about what happens to Shanquella. Since the day I heard this, it always affected me. No different than Kanika. It was the same thing. As soon as I heard it, I'm just like, wow, like why? You know, and I was just instantly intrigued. You know, so I mean, you know, other than that, you know, to flip, I don't have a problem with any of these people. I'm just saying some people do it because this is, you know, what they do, and some do it because it's popular. It's that simple. And the only way to prove that is to continue to do it. That's the only thing. So, like I said, I'm not knocking the lead attorney. Get your coin, get it. But don't let this be the last time you talk about a Black woman or a Black person that has been slain, to where you follow those type of cases. Keep following them, is all I'm saying. You know, don't just do it because it's bringing you views right now. There's going to be stories like I've done that won't bring in views, but it'll still bring the awareness. So just keep it up. That's all I'm saying. Don't stop. That's it. How was I hating? Keep doing it. Yeah, just don't do it because it's relevant right now. So in November, this is what they're talking about. So it's just like, yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's it. Keep doing it. And don't let Shanquella be the last. There's plenty of other Black women that could use that type of assistance. And he's not the only one. There's plenty of other people. Plenty of other people. There's plenty of other people that could use that type of assistance. Not just Shanquella. She's not the only one. So that's all I'm saying. Just keep it real. And it's that simple. And I'll say it to his face. Like, I mean, I don't know, because I guess a lot of other YouTubers, they like to be subliminal and stuff like that. I'm not scared of none of these people. I feel like to be subliminal, you must be scary. Because if you could sit there and talk all that ish, say who you talking about, like speak on it or shut up. So I'm that type of person. So I'll tell you who I'm talking about. And again, what's gonna happen to me? Oh, okay. Here, flip. Yeah. Alrighty. I don't give a damn about these people liking me. I'm here for me. I'm not here for affiliations. I didn't come here to make friends. I don't know about these other people, but I'm here for me. I go live by myself. I do my thing by myself. Like, none of these people are needed. All I'm just saying is, hey, if you swear down you care about her so bad, keep caring about her. Don't just care about her because it's being viewed right now. And then as soon as the tide starts to shift, they're the first ones to jump ship. And then you have people like me that stay firm and keep discussing it. And then the topic becomes popular again. And then all of a sudden, you know, you got all these people that swear this was so sad, that swear that this was so this, swear this was so that. Well, it's been all of those things. Where the hell you been at? It didn't just become those things. Like, it's been that the whole time. So, but I mean, I guess, I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, moving right along from that. So that's my show for today. We addressed everything in the title. Again, I don't believe that Shanquella passed away in the first video. I guess we just need a little bit more time to see what else is unveiled in this process. Now I don't look at it as jealousy or anything like that. I don't feel like he's jealous of me or I'm jealous of him. I don't, because I'm not. I like my life. So I'm good. So jealous of what? I don't even know his life to be jealous. Like what? And he don't know my life to be jealous of me. You know, so yeah, I feel like it's jealousy. I just feel like, again, I like when people use their platforms to raise awareness and not just when something's popular, raise it, make it popular, you know, make it popular. Just like the viral post going around of Shanquella Robinson that says, say her name, say their name, say their name. I've done videos on the Sandra Blands and, you know, people like that. So again, it's something that I care about. And I talk about a lot of these topics when they are not popular. Because that's somebody that cares. That's what I'm saying. Truly care about the situation. That's all. Because I'm gonna be here. You know, I'm gonna keep raising awareness, and I'm in for anyone that I can. You know, doesn't matter male or female. It doesn't matter race. It doesn't matter. When Gabby Petito passed away, we even did coverage on that. We even did coverage on that. She a whole white girl. We did coverage on that. You know, like we this is what we do. You know, so it's not like we don't like. Sean never talks about anything like this. Yes, I do. Like, I absolutely do. Yes, she is detained. She is detained. She is detained. Daejhanae is detained. Yes, she is. Okay. She, as far as we know, they have her and they're going to keep her in custody until they decide the finished product of the extradition process. So she can't escape, she can't hide, she can't do none of those things. They have her. Okay. Yes, that is definitely being stated. And there's other reputable sites that are stating it as well. So yes, check that out. Hold on really quick. I wanted to make, I'm going to make a few more moderators. I'm gonna talk to Tip West and get her approval. But I definitely wanted to give you no undo. Did it undo? Did it undo? Okay, it undid. Okay, it undid. I hit the wrong button. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Okay. Janae, I've been meaning to give you a wrench. I've been wanting to give you a wrench for a while. And it's a few other people that I want to give a wrench to, and I'm going to. But sorry, Janae, comment, because I want to make sure you comment, because I think I just accidentally hid you, but I undid it. 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 But I've been meaning to give you a wrench. And there's 3 other people that I want to give wrenches to. Janae, comment. Okay, there she is. Okay, all right. So I love y'all. I need to get out of here. We will be back tomorrow as usual. I don't know, maybe I'll take an off day. I might take an off day unless something big happens. But I don't know. You never know. You never know. I might take off. But I love y'all. I love y'all. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for joining me. I love y'all so much. Shout out to y'all for being here again. This was so lit. I had a good time with y'all as usual. Until the next show.
Fresh, flex, fresh, flex, fresh, hell my neck.